What if I told you that reality is constantly trying to speak to you, but you've been trained to ignore it? Every day, subtle messages are placed in your path, moments too perfect to be coincidence. The song that plays right when you're thinking about someone, the same number showing up again and again, that random stranger who says exactly what you needed to hear. You brush them off, you call them luck, coincidence. But deep down, you feel it. There's something more going on, and you're right. Synchronicities are not accidents, they're signals, a hidden pattern beneath reality itself, nudging you, guiding you toward something greater. Ancient civilizations understood this. Mystics studied it. Even great thinkers like Carl Jung, Nikola Tesla, and Einstein saw glimpses of it. But modern society? It calls it random, meaningless, just your imagination. Why? Because if you knew the truth, if you realized how reality really works, you'd become harder to control. Let's rewind. From the moment you were born, you were trained to believe in a world of logic and structure. Everything had to make sense on paper. Everything had to be proven. If it couldn't be measured, it wasn't real. You were taught to obey the rules of a system, not to question the rules of the universe. Remember when you were a child? You noticed things. You sensed when something was about to happen. You felt connected to something you couldn't explain. But every time you spoke up, you were told, "Don't be silly. It's just your imagination." Slowly, your inner voice was silenced. Instead of teaching you how to understand signs, feel energy, or follow your intuition, school taught you to memorize facts, to obey authority, to stay within the lines. The system wanted order, not awareness. Science became the gatekeeper of truth, but not the kind that explores mystery. No, this was rigid, materialist science. The kind that says everything is random, that the universe is cold and indifferent, and you, just a speck, powerless. So when you saw a repeating number, heard a message in a dream, met someone in the perfect moment, you were trained to ignore it, dismiss it, forget it. But what if that was never a coincidence? What if that was reality, trying to wake you up? Carl Jung called these moments synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that aren't really coincidences at all. He believed they were signs from the deeper structure of reality, messages from the unconscious, proof that everything is connected. And he wasn't alone. Across time, spiritual traditions and mystics have known reality is not random, it's responsive. And if you know how to listen, it speaks, not with words, but with signs, symbols, timing. Modern life keeps us too distracted to notice. We're glued to screens, flooded with noise, taught to worship logic, but ignore wisdom. And yet, synchronicities still appear, quietly, persistently, waiting for us to notice. Because here's the truth, the more you notice them, the more they happen. Why? Because you're tuning in. Your mind is not just observing reality, it's interacting with it. The moment you shift your awareness, reality shifts back. So the next time something too perfect happens, don't shrug it off. Pay attention, track it, ask what it means, because what looks like coincidence might be something much, much deeper. By now, you've probably experienced it, that eerie feeling when reality lines up just a little too perfectly. You're thinking of a person, and they text. You have a question, and a stranger casually answers it. You ask for a sign, and it appears. Coincidence or something more? The deeper you look, the more obvious it becomes. Synchronicities are not random. They're a response, a reaction to you, to your thoughts, your emotions, your energy. But how? Let's pull back the curtain. At the core of it all lies one powerful truth. Your mind doesn't just observe reality, it shapes it. Modern neuroscience already knows this. There's something in your brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS. It filters reality. If you've ever bought a new car and suddenly see it everywhere, that's your RAS in action. The cars were always there. You just weren't tuned in. Now apply that to synchronicities. The moment you believe they're real, you start noticing them. And the more you notice, the more your mind tunes into them. But this goes far deeper than brain filters. Let's talk about vibration. Everything in the universe, every thought, emotion, object, is energy, vibrating at a specific frequency. You included. When your thoughts are locked in fear, doubt, or stress, you vibrate low, and reality responds with chaos, stagnation, blocks. But when you shift into gratitude, joy, clarity, you vibrate higher, and suddenly things start to align. Doors open, people appear, signs intensify. Why? Because your frequency becomes a magnet. You're no longer just reacting to life, you're co-creating it, and it gets even deeper. Your subconscious mind, the part of you that runs beneath the surface, never stops listening. It's constantly organizing, connecting, aligning, even when you're not aware of it. When you hold an intention, even a quiet one, your subconscious begins reshaping your external world to bring that intention into form. This is why synchronicities often seem so personal. They're not random, they're tailored to you. Now, skeptics will say, it's just pattern recognition. It's your brain tricking you. But answer this. Why do these patterns so often match your exact emotional state? Why do they appear in moments of deep thought, transition, or decision? Why do they feel charged with meaning? Because they are. Reality is not just responding to you, it's reflecting you. Just like a mirror doesn't create your image, it reveals it. Synchronicities reflect the vibration you're putting out. And here's what no one tells you. You can learn to work with them. You can use synchronicities to guide decisions, to confirm direction, to realign your path. They're not passive signs, they're invitations. The universe is whispering. But are you listening? In the next part, we'll uncover why some people seem to live in constant flow, while others never experience these moments at all, and how you can shift into a life where synchronicity becomes the norm, not the exception. Let's be real. Some people go their whole lives without noticing a single synchronicity. Others? It's like reality speaks to them directly. They get the right phone call at the exact right moment. They meet the perfect person out of nowhere. They ask for a sign, and it shows up that same day. So what separates them? It's not luck. It's not destiny. It's alignment. Let's break it down. Most people are trapped in what we'll call the logic cage. They only trust what they can see, touch, measure, or explain. They've been trained to believe that life is random, linear, mechanical. So when something strange happens, something that doesn't fit the system, they brush it off. Oh, that's just coincidence. They don't even question it. And because they don't believe in synchronicities, they stop seeing them. Their filter is closed. Now, contrast that with someone who lives in awareness. They expect the universe to speak. They look for the messages. They trust the nudges. And in doing so, they open the channel. Here's the truth. Synchronicities are happening around everyone, all the time. but only those who are aligned can receive them. Alignment comes down to three things. 1. Frequency. Everything is vibration. When you're stuck in fear, anxiety, stress, your vibration collapses and your awareness shrinks. But when you raise your state through gratitude, clarity, stillness, your energy expands. You begin to see again. The signs start coming through. This is why synchronicities spike after a meditation retreat, or in nature, or during major life transitions, because your energy is shifting and the universe is responding. 2. Belief. If you don't believe synchronicities are real, you won't experience them. It's not because they aren't happening. It's because your mind filters them out. Belief opens the door. Doubt slams it shut. This is how your subconscious works. Once you start valuing synchronicities, your subconscious begins to prioritize them. It finds connections. It links events. It creates bridges. You literally start attracting more signs because your inner world is signaling that they matter. 3. Trust. This is the hardest part. Anyone can see a synchronicity. Few will act on it. You keep seeing 1111. You keep hearing the same message from different people. You get the urge to change something, but then you hesitate. Maybe I'm making it up. Maybe it's not a sign. Maybe I need more proof. And that's where the magic dies. Synchronicities respond to movement, to boldness, to trust. When you act on the signal, you reinforce the connection. You show the universe, I'm listening. And when you don't, the signs fade, the flow closes, you fall back asleep. Now here's the good news. You can shift at any moment. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start paying attention. Start small. Notice, acknowledge, act. The more you do, the stronger the connection becomes. You go from guessing to knowing. You stop chasing answers and start receiving guidance. In the final part, we'll uncover how to actively create synchronicities on purpose. How to tune your life into flow so that the universe doesn't just speak to you, it walks with you. Are you ready? So now you see it. The signs, the alignments, the invisible threads pulling your life in certain directions. But what comes next? This is where most people stop. They notice a few patterns, feel a spark of something deeper, and then go right back to autopilot. But you're not here to notice. You're here to use it. Let's talk about how to actively invite synchronicities and use them to shape your life from the inside out. Step 1. Set clear intentions. The universe doesn't respond to vague wishes. It responds to focus. When your intention is unclear, the signals are fuzzy. But when your desire is sharp, like a laser, reality reflects that clarity back to you. Don't just think, I want change. Say it clearly. I want guidance on whether to quit my job. I want to meet the right mentor. I want to know if this relationship is aligned. And then ask, out loud, in your mind, in writing. The moment you declare it, you begin shifting your energy, and the signs begin to align. Step 2. Align your vibration. Intentions are the signal, but vibration is the frequency. If you set a powerful intention, but you're living in fear, doubt, anxiety, your energy sends mixed messages. Synchronicity can't find you when you're tuned to static. So what do? You clear the channel. Meditate. Ground yourself in gratitude. Visualize your ideal outcome with feeling. Do anything that raises your state, because the universe speaks the language of frequency, and the higher your vibe, the louder the messages get. Step 3. Pay attention. Synchronicities don't always arrive like lightning bolts. Sometimes they're soft whispers. That song that plays 3 times in one day. That book someone randomly recommends. That number you keep seeing everywhere. Nothing is random. Start keeping a synchronicity journal. Write down every coincidence that feels strange, meaningful, or repeated. Over time, patterns will emerge. You'll start to see how reality is responding to your energy. This isn't superstition, it's feedback. Step 4. Take the leap. This is the most important step, and the one most people avoid. You see the sign, you feel the pull, you know what you're being nudged toward, but you freeze. You say, "What if I'm wrong? What if it's all in my head? What if I fail?" And here's the thing, synchronicities aren't proof. They're invitations. They don't guarantee success. They offer alignment. And you'll never know what's behind the door until you walk through it. The more you act, the more the universe responds. It's a feedback loop. See the sign, act on it, receive more. This is how people enter flow states. This is how life begins to move with you, not against you. You stop chasing, and you start attracting. Step 5. Trust the process. You're not always going to understand the signs right away. Some synchronicities won't make sense until weeks, months, or years later. That's okay. This isn't about having all the answers. It's about staying open to the unfolding. When you start trusting the process, you'll realize that life isn't random. It's a dialogue, and you've been in conversation with the universe all along. You were just never taught the language. So now, we end where we began, with a single question. Are you going to keep calling them coincidences, or are you ready to listen? Because if you've made it this far, you already know. The universe is speaking, and this is your sign.